वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं. We know scriptures exist for a long time. Presently, we have understanding of the scriptures of different religions. In Hindu religion also, we have many scriptures which are from different historical eras. Bhagavad Gita is considered almost 3000 to 3500 years old. Upanishads are still older, around 5000 years. So that is this era we have, this time or this cycle. Maybe earlier, maybe we do not know about those histories, but scriptures existed. So as the technology continues, as the scientific truths are continuing from one generation to another generation, like the scriptural truths also continue from one generation to another generation. There are many factors which affects this continuity. This continuity, the main factor could be the scripture itself, that which is believable, that which is realizable, so to say. It is like people write books, people make movies and documentaries, but some are being remembered for decades or for centuries. So scripture itself is one reason. The greatness of the ideas which travels from generation to generation. Second important factor is how the ideas will continue if there are no people to continue the idea. That's why the followership of different religion comes into picture. There must be people to understand that, the people to appreciate that, and people to continue that. So sometimes people ask questions, devotees also ask, visitors ask questions. How do we contribute in Hinduism? The simplest way is to practice. You practice. If you do not practice, how much you are able to give to your children and grandchildren? Not all of us are going to teach to the outsiders. At the most, you can share with your own people. Organizations like ours and the temples, they share this knowledge which outside their family purview. Devotees, visitors, those who have curiosity about the religion. So people also are required. I remember people of different religions, we were sitting and we had to introduce ourselves, who we are and from which religion we are. So I remember a person from Zoroastrian religion, he jokingly told, in the world we are few hundred thousands. After 200 years, you will find us in the museum. Because there will be very few people to practice that religion. So the expansion of religion, which in the history some religions have done by force. continuity of religion, there is a success. You cannot say no. But if there is no succession, if there is no handing over to the next generation, how it is going to happen? People who stay outside India for Hinduism, though in the modern way, especially during COVID-19, we understood, wherever you are is not important. Places become the secondary factor now. At your home, there are people maybe now watching and hearing what I am telling. But to practice is very important. If you do not practice, you can't convey it to the next generation. You may expect them to follow, you may expect them to appreciate, you can expect them to read and understand at least. But then the environment comes into picture. Somewhere it is suitable, somewhere it is not suitable. If the whole society has no spiritual inclination as a part of their culture, in those countries, the religion doesn't spread, or religion doesn't spread on the level you want them to spread. So very correctly have said, Shankaracharya puts it, Adi Shankaracharya puts it in his commentary on Bhagavad Gita. In introduction itself he says, Gunadikaihi grihitaha. Those values which are accepted by those people who in themselves there is abundance of good qualities. Scriptural truths you cannot practice unless you understand it. To understand you must read or hear. For that you must have interest. That's why all these higher values are not found so easily in people. Few people have interest. Out of those few people, very, very few people can understand the original language of the scripture. After understanding either original language or the translation, to appreciate those concepts and understand and consider those concepts as practicable, useful, then one or two values or some value in some percentage people practice it. So if you see the possibility is very little, because it is not gross practices. Rituals are gross practices. If you on Shivratri day you go to Shivan temple, or today also was a special day for Sri Perumal temple. Many people will go. But if you want to talk on philosophy of that God, not that many people will come. So rituals are easy to follow. That's why every religion has some rituals or other. Different types of ritual. In Hinduism we have different types of rituals. Other religions have different practices. I stayed for almost 5 years in northeastern states in India, where 95% population is Christians. But it is so nice to see on Sunday morning, Shillong is, Meghalaya is a cold place. Between morning 6 to 6:30, from the small child to the elderly people, holding a small Bible in their hand, all of them go to church. How many Hindus wants to come at 6 o'clock in that cold? Each and every, you, your children and your grandchildren, all get ready, well dressed and go to church. So their going to church is a ritual. You must do it. How much you understand, how much you practice that later on. First let us start this one. And the compulsion is there. In Hinduism we have a lot of freedom. Freedom is good provided you understand the concept. For example, when it is a ritualistic part, recently from last 2-3 months, we started inviting people physically to attend the programs, functions. So we have program in the early morning, then we have 9 o'clock, then 11 o'clock, then in the evening. And we can take hardly 35 to 40 people. As soon as we release online the form, believe me, the first slot which is booked completely within half an hour is 11 o'clock slot, because the homa is there, the ritual is there. Second slot which is filled up is in the evening, because evening arati is there. Third slot which is booked is the special puja, 9 o'clock slot. And believe me, morning 40 people can come, hardly 20 people also do not come. Because you have to take trouble to wake up early, get ready and come here at 6 o'clock. So you can easily understand that when it is ritualistic, people come. As soon as you use your brain, not that many people want to be part of it. In rituals, you don't think, well, the home of fire is going on, Swami is also offering something, devotee is also uttering mantras, and you participate in the ritual. It is relatively easier. So more and more people want to come. So whatever we do in religious life or spiritual life, we must think, what am I doing? Whatever I am doing, why do I do that? Is there any scientific reason behind doing this ritual? How many people want to think about it? As I was telling, rituals are the gross form of philosophy. And philosophy is the abstract form of ritual. The more abstract it is, less and less people can appreciate it. More gross it is, more people will appreciate it. So you will find where there is a gross practices, good practices, nothing wrong about it, there more people come. Many of you have come during Durga Puja. 9 o'clock when we start chanting, how many people are there in the temple? 15, 20. 12 o'clock prasad time, 1,000 plus. All of them believe, oh, taking prasad is very good for my spiritual life. Because that is the easiest thing you can do. Just take and eat. Chanting is difficult, understanding is difficult. You need to use your brain. Not many people are ready to do that. I did a small experiment with our children. On Saturday, after dinner, they want to watch a movie. Long time, I'm telling you, 10, 12 years before. As you know, all the movies, all the children cannot see. So some movies, primary children are not allowed. So I thought today I will put one movie and all the children will be allowed to watch. Oh, they were very happy without knowing what movie it is. And I put a movie which is based on history. It is not philosophy there, nothing abstract there. It is only historical characters. Within first 15 to 20 minutes, all the primary children slept while watching it. Because there are no dance numbers, there are no fighting. So, those things are easier for people to watch and get entertained. Here you have to think, oh, this is about 2000 years before in Greece or in Rome, something. Man cannot think about it. Children immediately slept. By the time movie ended, even secondary children also had slept. But it's a good movie, very informative. They don't want information, entertainment. Whenever there is an entertainment, believe me, it has to be in a gross form. It has to be in a very, very gross things will be shown. Then only people can enjoy. Because enjoyment comes on a lower level. Enjoyment doesn't come so easily on a higher level. Think of a philosopher, think of a professor, think of a scientist. What pleasure they get in doing scientific experiments or understanding the scientific principles, the happiness which they get in that. Can you explain it to the person of the same age maybe, who is habituated only in the gross enjoyment? People of gross enjoyment cannot enjoy the fine enjoyment. Because there you need to put efforts and you have to be eligible to do that. And to get that eligibility, you have to study. Otherwise, this fine happiness you don't get. In the same way, in religious and spiritual life also, as soon as the fine thing comes, people seems to lose interest. This way, when the modern incarnations or the new incarnations or new ways of putting things to the people comes, that will be more appealing. But as soon as it is concerning your mind, concerning your character, the followers are less and less. So, the religion or the spiritual values which are practiced by good people, whom people follow. Follow means at least you think that they are great people. In their own field they have done something very good. In general, all the parents, all the teachers unknowingly become ideal for their children or their students. This way many times we say that as soon as you are a parent, you have to be responsible to behave like a parent to the child. You still want to behave like a, in the terms of Swami Samachittananda, he used to say, a man of 75 behaves like a romantic young man. He uses this word, forgetting his own age, and then he will come and say, Swamiji, my children don't follow this one. We don't take freedom to say how much he follows. So idea is that if parents do it, children automatically understand, oh, this thing can be done. who will explain to them that this can be done at certain age, at certain maturity level? So those things you should not be practicing in front of children. Otherwise children do not understand but misunderstand. So religious and spiritual values also, unless practiced by those who are being idealized in the society, those who are being followed in the society, if they practice good values, they send this message that these are good values to practice. A very famous person became famous for some other reason, was publicly smoking and drinking. So one wise man went and told him, "You are too famous to drink in public. You may be famous for different reason, but millions of people are following you, are seeing you on day-to-day basis. They are idealizing you. As soon as you do something wrong practices, it automatically is taken as an approved good practice and people follow it. Not everybody can think whether I should follow it or not. That's why it is said in our Indian culture, follow what they say, not follow what they do. What they do is because of their maturity. What they say, it is useful to you according to your maturity or your age. So as soon as you are idealized by somebody, you need to carry yourself with respect so that people don't get a wrong message from you. So spiritual values are like this. You practice and show that those good values are important in your life. Automatically your children or grandchildren will learn from it. So practicing is necessary. So what Shankaracharya says is this: Gunadhigehi grihita anushthyamanascha dharma prajayam gavishyati. That religion gets propagated, that religion gets expanded, which is practiced by this group of people who are idealized by the society. So Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, if I don't do, the world will collapse. That's why I do it. It's not needed whether I require it to do or not. So, those who are elders, those who are wiser, those who are famous, those who are important role in the society, they have to conduct themselves in such a way that you don't automatically give wrong signals to people. The scripture are the books with bunch of good values. Nothing but good values are mentioned there. If you want to grow spiritually, you must be in the place where most of the people or the orientation of the place, of the country, has got spirituality in their mind. If it is not so, many places are there. The religion is not effective, not important. Automatically, everybody wants to follow the materialistic ideas, and so higher spiritual values, moral values are neither appreciated nor being practiced. So that place becomes more and more difficult to practice those values. From here the culture is built around those values. A culture of the country, culture of the place is slowly grows or is built up with these few values at the center. If the values are not given importance, earlier kings were there. They used to practice certain things and the subject used to follow them. Now the time has changed. As I told, the geographical location has lost its importance. Wherever you are, you can be connected. This is a very revolutionary aspect of our civilization. A simple thing which has come last few years in our life, which is called Wi-Fi. If you really think deeply, it has practically revolutionized your total concept of human life. Today only I was telling. Earlier people had to travel, people had to come to temple. Now sitting at their home, see on the Facebook Live, you can see what is going on in the temple. You can see it's practically virtual experience of what you would have done when you come. So the aspects of life changes. So the scriptures are always written from those very basic principles which are not changing in our life. Scriptures are closer to that center which doesn't change. The more you go further from that center, it is changing. Think of a platform which is rotating. The more you are towards periphery, more with force is affecting you, centrifugal, centripetal, etc. The more you are closer to the center, you are not affected by those forces. Scriptures are at the center. Holding on to the scriptures, you hold on to those values which are unchanging values of your life. You go away from that, those values will be changing very fast. Go away, materialistic values for example, change very fast. It is like the telephone models and TV models and technology and this and that. It changes very fast. That's why suddenly 15-20 years before, all the elderly people at that time, whoever was 60-65, suddenly became helpless because something called computer came into picture. And none of them knew, but the next generation knew. So immediately, suddenly, a thing happened where the children and grandchildren became teachers for the grandparents. This never happened earlier, but now it happened. So here also, a few years before, there were some programs where elderly people, they come to these social gatherings, and their grandchildren, age of children, will come and teach them how to use the email and how to use maybe WhatsApp. Many people, many elderly people till today do not know how to send a message, how to send a picture or record. Many things we also don't know. Technology is very fast. Within 6 to 12 months, the things change. What I was telling was, the more closer to the center you go, those principles are given in the scriptures which are unchanging principles. application changes. The principle remains the same. So, Bhagavad Gita is one of those scriptures which is a concise version of the Vedas. You and me may not know that much Sanskrit to read the Vedas. So we do not know exactly what is told in the Vedas. Though we proudly say everywhere the Vedas are the scriptures for Hindus. But believe me, not even 1% people have read Vedas. Not even 1% have read even the Upanishads. How do you think this religion should continue? To continue, there must be people to continue it. Dharaka. There must be people to carry it forward. Who are those people? We are those people. So that's why participation of the people, relatively younger generation, because they will continue for a long time. Those who are still young, they have 60, 70 years to continue. So people of all the ages should be familiar with these principles which are given in the scriptures. Otherwise, suddenly there will be a vacuum. There is nobody. It happened in history. Every 3 or 4 generations, in between one generation will come who is totally ignorant about the ancient values. Again, there will be 1 or 2 great people will come and they will read, they will propagate, there will be hundreds and thousands to appreciate that. Again, that takes a momentum. So this continuous practice of religion, continuous contact with the scriptures in your personal life and in your public life. Public life I am not telling in the street, public life in the family life. Personal life you may read Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita must have a place in your household so that your children, grandchildren will understand. If these principles are not known by them, there is no question for them to understand those principles, and there is absolutely no chance for them to practice those principles. So when a generation doesn't know about it, the blame goes to the previous generation who did not practice and put forward it. We don't need to be forceful towards the next generation. I remember when I was very young, say about 8 or 9 years old, my father told to all of us, brothers and sisters, sit down and read these few slokas of Bhagavad Gita. And we used to make fun of it. So he said, okay, all cutting jokes and everything later. First you read this one. So we used to, what is the use of reading? We don't understand it. So you see, do you think you will understand without reading it? At least start reading it. You will understand one day. And believe me, the first time I have heard Sthita Prajnasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava sthita dehikim pravashayati kimasi pravajati, when I was 8 years old. When I became 15, 16, this is the Bhagavad Gita. Then we started reading Bhagavad Gita. Then we read the translation of Bhagavad Gita. Then we read the Bhashya of Bhagavad Gita, commentaries, this and that. But we are introduced to this. Maybe, out of all the brothers and sisters, probably, as much I would have read, others may not have read it. But at least, out of all the siblings, at least 1 or 2 people have picked up little. And if I would not have been taught, I would not be here. I would not be speaking also. So it doesn't go in vain. So next generation must learn it. And then I believe it's our responsibility. There is one very interesting component in our life. Most of the parents, when I say this, they say, "Oh Swamiji, you do not know. Nowadays this young generation, they have no interest in this and that and all that." I say, I'm not telling you what our parents did to us. And we were obedient enough to sit down and read Bhagavad Gita with them. But at least keep this literature available to them. It is one that you will open when you are free or something. Let me open and see what is written here. It is availability of those concepts in your house. You don't need to take class if you cannot. If you can, why not? But if you cannot, at least keep the things available. I remember I went to Penang. One family I know very well there. So this lady always tell me that nowadays this new generation has no interest or no interest. Till we all sit for tea at 7:30 in the morning. From 6 o'clock to 7:30 there is a TV and continuous some chanting, some devotional, some religious programs are going on. At least 1 hour. I say, okay, you do whatever you like. This will continue every day morning for 1 hour. That is indirectly gone to them. And part of that they remember also. And then what is the fun? When the mind is in a particular mood, they have 2 daughters. Their daughters spontaneously, without putting any effort, will be repeating those stotras or those devotional songs. So thing is to keep these ideas available to them. Many times we say that people have no idea how much big treasure which is lying beside them and they are totally unaware of it. By the time you appreciate, you don't have much time in your life to practice it. So, spiritual values, if you can teach or if you can keep it available for children at the very young age, some of them pick up or they pick up some of the ideas. Very simple ideas. That atmosphere is created in the homes. It's called a scholastic way of life. You are not creating a regimentation in the house for reading scriptures and all that. No. But certain part of your day has to be dedicated to this. The next generation automatically will take up. And once they take up, if their samskaras are good, they will be attracted towards that. That how great ideas are given. Negativity and those cheap ideas will spread very fast. Just like the light things fly in the air, you see. Heavy things will not fly in the air. Heavy things you have to go there and search. Those light things, all the leaves and dust and all that, which are not useful to you, will be flying around in the sky. But those who are heavy, precious, important, these are all you have to go and search. There is a proverb in Sanskrit that there is no ocean where its bed doesn't contain the pearls. There is no mountain where there are no precious or semi-precious stones. Only people who will search for it are very rare. It is lying there, but people to search, people don't have a patience or capacity to search that. So we all go to the seashore and pick up the small pebbles. Very few people can go dive and get the gems out of the ocean. In the same way, but availability, if in the house availability is there, I remember curiosity was there. Why do you keep gods and goddesses picture in the house? It will be reminded. I was born in a family where I hardly found any rituals being practiced except lighting a lamp every day. There was no rituals. I've never seen home big pujas and this and that. But there was a simple thing going on. That parents, a particular day of time, will quietly close eyes and meditate. Wherever they are, there was no shrine in the house. A small house, there was shrine. But wherever they are sitting, okay, you could study. So the evening between 6 to 8, pin drop silence. And there are 6-7 people in the house. Pin drop silence. Everybody is busy studying, children doing homework, somebody sitting and quietly meditating in a corner. Everything has a place. Why can't good things have a place in your life? So this availability of the scriptures, availability of the good literature, let it be somewhere, lying on the table. What is it? Coffee table books nowadays, coffee table books. So keep some. I remember, I'm not gone, many of you must have visited. In America and other places, from one place to another places, there are places to stay which are called motels, where people go hire a room, stay for a night and continue the journey. This is run by mainly a particular Indian community. And one of them thought, how many motels are there in America? Say there are 5,000 motels. How many are run by our community? And he found almost 4,000 is run by their community. Why can't we decide? Let us put Bhagavad Gita in all the rooms. Whoever comes in that room, doesn't matter. Keep available. So every day 4,000 people are in contact with Bhagavad Gita. Maybe 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5 people only see it. Most of the people have no interest what that book is. That's okay. But availability in a reachable place, same thing can be done at home. Small booklets. That was the idea behind my putting the free books I keep under the temple, you will find. 2009 we started. Many people come, sometimes the migrant workers, and they also come. You don't need to spend even $2 to buy them. Just pick up. Whichever book you like, you take. Nobody is going to see it. No need to pay also. Availability. Good things should be free. All that is essential in life, God has made it free. Human being put a price tag, but God doesn't put it. We cannot live without what? Without air. Abundance and free. Water. Abundance and free. Then human being watered it and put a price. Food. Growing. Human being try to grow, make business, that's fine, but availability. That which you can't do anything with that, maybe you sell and make money and then buy food or buy something is a different thing. Those precious metals, etc., doesn't have direct use of it. It is a conceptual importance. So, gold means it will look beautiful. That's a concept. You can't eat gold. But that without which we cannot live, air and water, etc., is in abundance and easy of free. So, spirituality should be like air. It should be available to everybody. People take, don't take, it is their choice. Children, you don't need to force. If the nature is good, okay, let us sit down and read. I give an example. One devotee, some of you may know her. Now they don't stay in Singapore last 9 years. Now they stay in India. The son passed class 10 in Singapore, Sec 4. So for further study, the son got admission in America, Boston. Young boy of 17, 18 years old, very handsome, very good looking, very intelligent. He's now going to America for further study. Mother is a devotee, the boy also is a devotee in America. So the mother was a bit scared. So one day she came and told me, I'm very much afraid what's going to happen to him. I do not want him to spoil his life. I want him to read Bhagavad Gita before he goes to Boston. 17 years old boy, bright boy, studying in international school, doing good result, part of Singapore's cricket team, under 17 or under 18, whatever team it was. So I said, he will read it. If you say he will do it, but you need to sacrifice. And then I also told her, she also put her ideas. She purchased these 3 volumes of Swami Samachittananda's Bhagavad Gita lectures. 3 volumes. This was total. And told to the son, you still have 4 months to go to Boston. We two together will read these 3 volumes. When I will read, you will hear. If you read, I will hear. And believe me, mother and son completed these 3 volumes before the boy went to Boston. The effort was taken by her. Okay, you read this book before you go ahead, and then mother watches TV. That will not happen. So mother sat with the boy every day, half an hour and 1 hour. And they read complete 3 volumes of Bhagavad Gita. The boy had complete idea now. This is the ideal of life. And did very well without contaminating his own life. It's okay. He grew up and then he got married. All that. That is part of the course of life. It is not negative. But till today he is in a correct line. And then he started asking questions. So mother said, don't ask me a question. My email address she gave last one. But idea is this, that parents need to sacrifice. I remember sometimes some people come, I'm just joking, but it's true. The mother is continuously, repeatedly telling to the child, hey, Swamiji ko pranam karo. Do pranams to Swamiji. What is my role there? Oh, it's okay. And I tap the shoulder of the child. Then the mother says, no, he should do. I was thinking in my mind, why there is a stiffness in your back? Why you don't do and show the child how to do pranam? The child doesn't know how to do it. It's not pranam to me, no. It is, if you want to teach children something, you must practice it. Our problem is this, we don't practice, we want our children to practice. Many parents, young parents, what they could not achieve in their life, they want to force their children to do this. One small girl came to me, very intelligent. Swamiji, I don't have time. I said, what's your age? 9 years. Why you don't have time? How can I have time? I've got dance class, I've got piano class, I've got this class, I've got that class. Then jokingly I asked the mother, any of this thing you know? No. That's why you want that your child should know. It's okay, it's good to know. But there are many better things in the life. It is better than if you would have known and if the child knows. So, gunadikehi grihitaha, that which is accepted by the seniors, that which is accepted by those who are being followed or idealized, they should practice the values. Shankaracharya very clearly told. Gunadikehi grihitaha anushchiyamanascha, that which is practiced by them. Prajanam Vishati. That dharma, those values will propagate, will be conveyed from one generation to another generation, provided the previous generation, good people have to practice it. So parents, teachers, elders, seniors, if we practice good values, children automatically learn good values. If they don't learn, don't be frustrated. You did your part. Correct? God does his part. God does his part by sending the rain. If you don't sow the seed, how the plant will come? You don't blame God for that. In the same way, you do your duty. Maybe if child luck is good, samskaras are good, if your methods are good, maybe these great values, it will benefit our life also, and we will be instrumental in conveying this to the next generation. Listen. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.